So these are the formulas to be keep in mind for solving numerical problems on DFT and also for getting the inverse of DFT. So the first formula is for getting DFT x of k, and second formula x of n is for getting inverse of DFT. So the difference in this formula is only one. We are going to add 1 by n with the previous equation. So now we have in previous formula we are having minus j, but whereas here we are having plus j. So the difference is we are having in x of k we are having minus, in x of n we are having plus. So in addition to this equation we are having 1 by n. So this is the difference. So it is very easy to keep this formula in mind. So here we are writing the same formula in terms of twiddle factor. So here in x of k we are having twiddle factor as wn power kn, and here we are having the power as plus. So in inverse formula we can write the power of twiddle factor as minus kn. Okay, and along with we are going to multiply that with 1 by n. So this is the difference in inverse and direct DFT formula. So now we'll see the numerical problems. The question is find discrete Fourier transform DFT of the given sequence x of n 2, 3, 4 and 4. So the length of the sequence is n. So we are not having any specific length for DFT. So we can take the length as capital N as 4. So the formula for finding a discrete Fourier transform x of k is this, and k has to vary from 0 to n minus 1. So before that we have to find this twiddle factor value. Either we can make use of this formula, or we can by directly taking the values twiddle factor from the graphical representation we can solve this problem. Okay, so by substituting the values of k varies from 0 to 3, here we are having x of k 0, 1, 2, 3, and now we are replacing the value of n as 4. So 4 minus 1, 3, and x of n e power 0. Here the value of k and n is 0, so we are having e power 0. Now we are going to expand the sequence with the limit varies from 0 to 3. By doing the same procedure till x of 3 we can get the values. So this DFT of the sequence, the representation is x of k. So the x of k is 13 minus 2 plus j minus 1 minus 2 minus j. So this is the DFT for the given sequence. So in second problem also they have given the sequence. We have to find DFT for the sequence x of n. The n varies from 0 to 3. So the capital N will be 4, and they have given the values x of n, the x of 0 as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So by using the same procedure what we have used in this problem, we can solve this problem, and after solving we may get this answer DFT x of k as 10 minus 2 plus j2 minus 2 minus 2 minus j2. So this is the homework problem. You can practice by your own, and you can refer this previous problem. So this is the same thing, but instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry 2, 3, 4, 4, we are having the value is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you have to practice by your own and get this answer, and just verify with this answer what I have given. And the third problem, find 8-point DFT. This 8-point DFT is very important. So to find 8-point DFT for a given sequence, it is having 4 values. Assume imaginary part is 0, and also calculate magnitude and phase. So here what we have to find is we have to find 8-point DFT. So DFT, the representation of DFT is x of k. So the x of k will be having 8 points. So the length of DFT, that is x of k capital N, is 8. Okay, and the input given is having only 4 values. So the length of this input sequence is only 4. But we are not having any equal length in input as well as in output. But the required output is 8 point, but the available input is having only 4 points. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a concept called zero padding. That means we are going to add extra zeros in order to match with the output length. Okay, so here the given sequence is this one. It is having only 4 values. So but the DFT is having 8. The length is 8 here. So in order to match with this length, what we are going to do is we are going to append zeros at the end of the sequence. So here we are having the given sequence. So after this, at the end of this sequence, we are going to add zeros in order to match with this sequence length. Okay, here the length is 8, but the given is 4, so the remaining is 4. So we have to add 4 zeros in order to match with the given DFT length. Okay, so we have added 4 zeros in at the end of this sequence. So this is called zero padding. So by making by using a matrix formation or by using this previous expansion formula, we can find the 8-point DFT. So the important concept is zero padding. If we are, the main thing is we have to check for the equal length in output as well as an input side. If not so, we have to add extra zeros to the input. So that adding extra zeros at the end of the sequence is called zero padding. This zero padding is very important in this DFT. Now we will see the numerical problems on inverse discrete Fourier transform. This is the formula for finding inverse discrete Fourier transform. So now we will see the numerical problems on inverse discrete Fourier transform. The question is having DFT. So now we have to find IDFT, that is inverse DFT, by make use of this x of k. So the formula for finding IDFT is x of n. Okay, and here the n is also n and also k going to vary from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so by making use of these values, that is n varies from 0 to n minus 1. Here the n is 4, so the n is going to vary from 0 to 3. And also k2 going to vary from 0 to 3. By simply expanding the sequence and substituting the values of n starting from 0 to 3, we can get this inverse DFT. Okay, so now this is a simple expansion. Okay, so this is like a previous problem, that instead of x of k, we are finding x of n. That's all. So this is the main formula. The main thing is we have to get the value of n and make sure that we are having equal length in input as well as output. Here we are not having any specific length for the output, so we need not to calculate the length, or we have to worry about the zero padding like that. Okay, so we are having only a single length, that is 4. By applying the value of n as 4, you can expand the sequence and you can get the values of x of n. So here is another problem, and it is having this also is having a length 4. So they have given the k value as 0 to 3. So the length will be n is 4, right? So by making use of the same inverse formula x of n, you can get the values of x of n. Okay, so you may get this IDFT of this given sequence as 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. So this is the homework problem. You can solve by your own and try to get this answer. Okay, formula for frequency resolution, or the frequency interval, is a reciprocal of total time period into total length, and the frequency interval, that is change in frequency, that is sampling value, that is the distance between the two samples in the frequency signal, we are calling that as frequency interval. We can call that as n into del f resolution, or we can write it as 1 by t. This is nothing but sampling frequency, and the frequency resolution is determined only by the length of the observation interval. Frequency resolution only by the length of the observation interval. Here it is observation interval. So by making use of this observation interval alone, we can find the frequency resolution. And whereas this frequency interval, this interval can be determined by the length of the sampling interval. So this is the sampling interval. If you want to find the frequency interval, we can get from the sampling interval. And for frequency resolution, we can use only the length of the observation interval. Okay, so by increasing sampling rate, we can expand frequency interval. So sampling interval, frequency interval. So observation is going to relate with resolution. So if you are going to increase observation time, we can improve frequency resolution. So the another concept is, if suppose if you are going to add zero padding in the given sequence, whether it is going to alter the frequency resolution. This is the question. So the answer for this question is no, because it is the resolution is being observed only by the length of the observation times, not by the length of the sequence. Right, so it is going to be determined by the length of observation interval, and zero padding does not increase this length. So n is not going to disturb the frequency resolution, and only the t is going to disturb the frequency resolution. So zero padding is not going to alter any of the frequency resolution. So these concepts are very important in MCQ point of view. Thank you.